What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Apologize for my voice. I got nothing left from last night. What an incredible game. Jets come away with a 2-1 win and go 2-0 up in the series against the St. Louis Blues in the first round. It has been a ton of fun to watch, and I mean, what else can you ask from this Jets team? We'll talk about Game 2 first here, and then we'll talk about the series as a whole and where I kind of see it going. But the Jets, up already 1-0 in the series, had a big come-from-behind win in Game 1. In Game 2, came out a little bit on their heels to start, maybe for the first 5 minutes or so. The Blues were really peppering them with shots, just trying to get everything to the net, and they were throwing their body around. I mean, you know, Jets kind of looked like they were on their heels to start. However, as this first period went on, the Jets, again, just like the first game, started to get a little bit more comfortable. They got comfortable faster in this one, and it wasn't necessarily an exciting first period. It really, hasn't been an exciting series, kind of how I expected it, more out to the perimeter, nothing really inside. But this one was physical right from the beginning. I mean, the Blues were throwing their weight around, but so were the Jets. I mean, Logan Stanley absolutely murdered Jordan Kyrou right at the beginning of this game. Coming down the wall, he got smoked. So, Logan Stanley, that was the craziest hit he's ever thrown in his career. Came at a really good time. Jets need more of that. But the Jets were able to come through with a huge goal near the end of the first period inside the last 5 minutes there. Mark Scheifele, what a playoffs he's had. I mean, your star players have to be your stars. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, a little bit more. But Scheifele showing out, already 2 goals in the series, one last game in this game. Jets open the scoring 1-0. Then literally right at the end of the first period, 2 seconds left in the period, Jeremy Snuggerud's going to rip a blast, go top corner on Hellebuck on the power play. Really frustrating time to give that up, but the Jets running around in their own end on the PK, and Snuggerud makes them pay. 1-1 Blues heading into the second, and I was a little bit worried about that. I thought the Blues were going to, leech a lot of momentum out of that, getting that late goal, but the second period was, fairly quiet. The Jets ended up going into the second period, taking some penalties, but were able to kill them off. Shots were 7-7 in the second period. Not a lot going on. Again, tight checking series, lots of hits being thrown, not a ton of ozone time for either team in that period. But we go to the third, and right off the hop, Kyle Connor finds some soft ice and blasts it home, makes it 2-1 Winnipeg. Like I talked about earlier with Mark Scheifele, stars being your stars. Kyle Connor certainly has been that, scored the game winner over on Saturday night on Game 1, and now here in Game 2 on Monday night, goes ahead and scores, makes it 2-1 Winnipeg. Being in the building for that was crazy. I thought the lid was going to come off the arena. 2-1. So, we're going through the rest of the third, and the problem with the Jets in the past has been, can they close? Are they going to be able to get one on Hellebuck? Is he going to be able to stand tall? And he sure did in this one. He looked really good all the way through, made some tough saves. I thought he got really comfortable in Game 1 in that second half. Tough first period for him, but in the second half of that game, he really did get comfortable, looked a little bit better positionally. And in this game, he was just always in the right spot. I mean, there was really rarely a time where he was scrambling around. He made one really weird Dominic Hasek-esque save. I believe that was in the third period, but I mean, he was standing tall the whole game. Didn't really look like he was panicking at all. Was calm and cool when playing the puck, and he just looked really good. So shout out to Connor Hellebuck. And the Jets were able to ride that momentum from the Kyle Connor goal, just really not allowing St. Louis to set up, even with the goaltender pulled, flipping it out every chance they got, shutting them down on the walls. Dylan Sandberg was a monster in this game. We'll talk about him a little bit later, but just nothing going on for the Blues. Can't muster any offense, and the Jets walk away with a 2-1 win and go up 2-0 in the series. I talked about it before, but I mean, going up 2-0 in the series is huge, especially in this series against the Blues. I said, even before the series started, if the Jets go up 2-0, it's going to be a huge wall for the Blues to climb. I mean, you're going to be fighting against, best goaltender in the world and one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not the best, to try to come back from down 2-0. I mean, you better hope that your home ice advantage helps you, St. Louis, because it does not look good right now. The Braden Shen, Logan Stanley pairing definitely looked better in this one. They didn't look as chaotic. as game one. You know, nerves definitely, I think, were affecting those guys, but they were throwing hits left and right. I mean, they had 9 hits through the first period. The Stanley hit was awesome, ran right through Kyrou. We all know how I feel about Logan Stanley here on the channel. We already know how I feel about that bottom pairing of Stanley and Shen and how a lot of people feel about that. But I gotta, you know, hats off to those guys. Not a perfect game by any means, but definitely better, threw their weight around, and they did their job in this one. The crowd was awesome, super fun chants the whole night. You know, Luke is better, you know, the Shen brothers playing, Jets fans chanting that Luke Shen is better than Braden Shen. I thought that was really funny. That was pretty cool. You know, just the Bennington chants all night, just pestering after guys. I thought it was great. The crowd was hilarious. So, you know, hats off Winnipeg. What a game that was from not only the Jets, but the fans as well. You know, right now the Jets are missing Gabe Vilardi and Nikolai Ehlers. Sounds like they'll get Vilardi back maybe this series if they need him right now in a non-contact jersey. But you know, the Jets doing this without 2 of their top 6 forwards is, you know, just even more impressive. I feel like no one's really talking about that. I mean, they're just shutting down the Blues, playing in their own end, and really every line is getting their chances. Like, even the Jets' 4th line of Gustafsson, Barron, and Jared Anderson-Dolan are creating chances, throwing the pucks in front, making stuff happen. And, you know, maybe it's not as flashy as we're used to seeing with, you know, Gabe Vilardi and a Nikolai Ehlers being in the lineup, but the Jets are creating offense. And it really helps when, you know, Mark Scheifele has found another gear here, really just playing like an elite #1 centerman, and Kyle Connor just finding soft ice, knowing where to go to score goals. That top line has been awesome. It's been producing, but it hasn't been the only one going, right? And it's been pretty much the only line that scored any goals outside of, you know, the Adam Lowry empty netter and the Jared Anderson-Dolan tip in game 1. That top line has all the goals through 2 games, so, you know, you'd like to see a little bit more goals from other lines, but it's not like they're not getting their chances. This isn't going to be a 40 shot per game series. You know, just kind of find whatever you can, really. These are 2 tight checking teams, and the first line is really taking it up a notch. So I'm excited to see what happens when the Jets actually do get some of these reinforcements back, like Gabe Vilardi. We'll see when we get Nikolai Ehlers back, if they are able to get him back in the playoffs. It would be a big help, but I mean, right now the Jets are doing just fine without 2 of their best players, and it's been really impressive to watch. 2 guys I just want to talk about quick. I'll start with Dylan Samberg. He's been absolutely incredible all season, and that's carried into the playoffs, and he's finally getting a little bit of recognition on the world stage as more people are actually watching the Jets as we are in the playoffs now, realizing how good Dylan Samberg is. He's going to make a lot of money. Just an incredible defender. Nothing gets past this man. Great stick, always responsible, always in front of, you know, the guy trying to break into the zone. I mean, how many times did Dylan Samberg last night just break up a zone entry, right? How many times did he just, you know, knock a guy off the puck, throw a hit, just be in position, take the puck away, and, you know, calm things down for the Jets, right? He is just so calm, so good out there, and he's going to make a lot of money this offseason. And a restricted free agent, the Jets need to pay that guy whatever he wants. And then I just want to touch on Cole Perfetti before I get out of here. What a series he's had so far. He's looked really comfortable. Last season, you know, was pretty much scratched in the playoffs for the entire time until game 5 of the Colorado series. Didn't think it was deserved. This series, he's showing that he belongs. Set up, you know, Kyle Connor in the slot there for that game winner. He looked really good in this one. Looked really good through the first 2 games. Keep it up, Cole Perfetti. But that's all I got today, guys. You know, Jets going up 2-0 in the series on to St. Louis, Missouri on Thursday. We'll see how they fare there, but I feel very confident with this Jets team. See if St. Louis tries some different things to try to knock the Jets off of their stride right now. But that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.